Meanwhile, the dragon inside that place kept growing larger and larger. Tesha had used magic on her clothes, and the enchanted cloth was somehow holding the dragon back. Everyone continued searching for a way out, but no matter where they went, they always returned to the same place where they had first opened the hole. It was as if they were trapped inside a maze. Suddenly, Coco noticed that Tesha looked terrified. She removed her cloak and gave it to Tesha, saying that whenever she became scared, hiding inside the cloak made her feel safe because it felt like nobody could see her fear. She tried to comfort her and calm her down. At that moment, Tesha realized she had been unfairly blaming Coco for everything. She then created a soft cloud-like magical environment around them, and both of them stepped inside it. Coco became excited and said the cloud felt unbelievably soft. Tesha apologized and admitted that she had unintentionally made Coco feel guilty for everything that had happened. However, Coco insisted that the mistake was hers. Tesha then explained that the cloud was actually her own original magic. She had invented it because, as a child, she had always dreamed of sleeping on clouds. While they were talking, Agathe interrupted them and reminded everyone that they needed to focus because the dragon could kill them at any moment. She asked if anyone had a plan. Coco then suggested trapping the dragon, but Agathe proposed using fire magic instead. Coco immediately rejected the idea and reminded her that fire magic had already failed against the dragon before. Coco then revealed her real plan. She suggested using Tesha's cloud magic to create a giant cloud above them so the dragon could rest on it and become distracted long enough for everyone to escape. At first, the others thought the plan sounded ridiculous, but since they had no better option, they agreed. Tesha created the cloud while the others formed a long chain-like structure to trap the dragon. The plan actually worked. The dragon climbed onto the cloud and seemed completely fascinated by it, peacefully lying down on top of it. After that, Agathe reminded everyone that they still needed to find the spell that had trapped them in that endless loop. Coco remembered seeing a strange spell earlier, so she guided Agathe toward it. At the same time, Kifri finally arrived at the location where the children had disappeared. Back near the spell, just as Coco and Agathe were about to touch it, the dragon suddenly attacked them again at high speed. That was when Kifri made his entrance. He grabbed Tesha and assured everyone that nothing would happen to them now that he was there. He then used his magic to create an even larger dragon. Kifri's dragon easily defeated the other dragon. The scene then shifted outside, where everyone had safely escaped. Coco suddenly woke up in panic, looked around, and saw that everyone was safe. She immediately started crying and blamed herself for everything. However, Kifri told her that they had all survived because of her quick thinking. He explained that using magic was important, but being able to think clearly under pressure was even more valuable. He praised her for staying calm and making smart decisions during such a dangerous situation. Elsewhere, the old shopkeeper examined the magical traces left behind and discovered that forbidden magic had been used to trap the children. He insisted that the higher authorities needed to be informed immediately. However, Kifri asked him to keep the matter secret. The old man argued repeatedly, saying the authorities had to know about forbidden magic. Then Kifri stared directly at him with such intensity that the old man instantly became frightened and agreed to stay quiet. Later, Coco was studying with Agathe in her room while making a lot of noise. Agathe became irritated and eventually walked outside. There, she cast a strange spell that sent a mysterious light upward into the sky. Afterward, Agathe admitted that her magic still felt weak and unstable. Meanwhile, Coco struggled to draw spells properly. She complained that she had not even been able to choose a proper pen from the shop because of everything that had happened earlier. Exhausted and sleepy, she eventually drifted off while lying on someone's body. She then realized she had fallen asleep on Kifri. Kifri noticed her sadness and asked what was wrong. Coco admitted that she could not use her spells properly. He then took her to the kitchen and gave her some preserved food to eat. When she tasted it, she loved it immediately. Kifri explained that the food had been preserved using magic and required constant spell maintenance to keep it fresh. He then taught her an important lesson. He explained that many skills in life could only be learned through repeated practice. To demonstrate this, he asked Coco to roast some fruit using fire magic. She failed many times. Sometimes the fruit remained raw, while other times it burned completely. But after many attempts, she finally roasted it perfectly. Kifri explained that everyday life itself was the best teacher. If she wanted to improve at fire magic, she needed to use it constantly in daily activities like cooking, melting butter, or roasting food. He also admitted that he personally hated water, yet the very first magic he mastered was water magic. He explained that the things people disliked the most were often the things they needed to practice hardest. During their conversation, Tesha and Rick had entered the kitchen after smelling delicious food. Everyone then worked together to prepare burgers. Kifri insisted that Coco handle most of the work herself so she could continue practicing her magic. She successfully used spells to help melt butter and prepare the food. Later, Coco suggested having a picnic outside while eating the burgers. Everyone loved the idea. However, when they went outside, it started raining. Kifri then created a magical bubble around them that completely blocked the rainwater, allowing everyone to enjoy the picnic together. During the picnic, a rainbow appeared. Coco excitedly said she wanted to bring Agathe outside to see it too because she would probably love it. She ran back toward the house, but as soon as she opened the door, a strange man suddenly stepped out. Frightened, she ran back and hid behind Kifri. The man asked who she was and what she was doing there. Coco nervously replied that she was Kifri's student. The stranger became angry and criticized Kifri for taking another apprentice. Kifri explained that Coco was actually a victim of forbidden magic and that the situation was extremely complicated. The man coldly replied that he did not care and intended to take Coco to the Knights Moralis. Hearing this immediately angered Kifri, who used magic to stop him. The man was shocked that Kifri would actually use magic against him, but Kifri declared that he would do anything to protect Coco. The two eventually went inside and talked properly. Kifri explained the entire situation and revealed that they were training Coco so they could eventually find the book connected to forbidden magic. He then introduced the man as Alrejo, a member of the Watchful Eye. These witches monitored activities throughout the magical world. Kifri also explained that the Knights Moralis were witches responsible for erasing the memories of people who discovered magic. If they learned about Coco, they might erase Kifri's memories as well because he was the reason she learned about magic in the first place. Hearing this made Alrejo feel conflicted because he cared about Kifri deeply. In the end, he agreed to stay silent for now but warned that if anything went wrong, he would report everything immediately. Later, Coco searched for her pet and accidentally entered Alrejo's room. She apologized for disturbing him, and Alrejo calmly returned the pet to her while also drying her wet clothes with his magic. Coco then noticed the glowing magical bricks in the room and became fascinated. She explained that magic like this was exactly what had made her fall in love with magic as a child. She excitedly praised Alrejo's invention and even called him Sensei. Embarrassed and annoyed, he immediately denied being her teacher and threw her out of the room. Despite his attitude, it became clear that he was not actually a bad person. Meanwhile, Agathe continued practicing her spell again, and this time her magic finally became much more stable. Suddenly, chaos erupted outside. A man arrived desperately asking Kifri for help because his son had fallen beneath a bridge. Hearing this, Agathe immediately asked her master to take her along because she wanted to help as well.